I want to thank our staff. I mean, our coaching staff did a tremendous job. Obviously, over the putting this class together, one of the things that's been really a positive is we were able to put this class together early and spent a large majority of this month, getting ahead for 2017. I think that's going to really pay off in the future. And obviously, with losing a coach to a head coaching job, losing guys to promotions and things like that, it's tough. Even though that you want that for your coaches, you want them to be able to reach their goals and aspirations. It's a great reflection on our program, but it does not help in recruiting. It makes it a little bit difficult, and especially in the last days. So I want to thank my staff, the guys that came in here. They did a great job. In particular, Chip and Keith in leadership roles doing a great job with this staff and really holding together a great recruiting class. So I want to thank them. I want to thank all the academic people. Gene Boyd and his team just do a tremendous job working on the weekends. Our recruiting staff does a tremendous job in really just accommodating our recruits. Our players, I think our players are probably our best recruiters, and they do such a tremendous job of really being honest and letting people know what our program's all about. And I want to thank them for their help. Barrett's Honors College, they have been just so awesome to us. I want to thank them for the time that they spend, and we're obviously trying to attract the best and the brightest, and we were able to do that, and without their help we couldn't have done it. And along with our administration that do a great job of helping us out. Lastly, I want to thank the parents of all the recruits. I really enjoy recruiting. I really getting to go into families' homes and getting to meet all their families, and it's just a really neat thing for me. And I've had some really interesting, just inspiring home visits. Had a pretty neat one in New Jersey and just in Louisiana, just all over, just meeting great people. And I want to wish the kids that went elsewhere the very, very best. I really mean that. I walk around here and I rub a little, it's a little silver cross all the time in my pocket. And a couple of our new coaches saying, "Coach, what is that? Is that some kind of good luck charm?" I said, No, it just reminds me that sometimes, boy, I really want kids to come here. But my prayer is they end up where they're supposed to. So I want to wish them the very best as well. And then for the high school coaches, man, we've just so grateful for the high school coaches and the junior college coaches that, really, man, meet us, 7 days a week and accommodate our coaches. And we're just so thankful for them. And and what they do for young people and the information. Obviously, there's a lot of research goes in academically and character-wise to all, especially here and what we're about and the Sun Devil Brotherhood and the standards that we have. And they just do a tremendous job. I appreciate the coaches. And then I want to special thanks to Patrick Suttis. Patrick has done a tremendous job. I think he told me that I called him 22 times in one day. So he's our recruiting coordinator. He and I are going to have a break here for a couple days and probably much needed. But he's done a tremendous job of not only leading and developing and helping our coaching staff, but what he does with his recruiting staff and the job that he's done in this time. I mean, it's been a challenge. And he's done a tremendous job, and we would not have kept this class together without him. So really wanted to have a special thanks for Patrick and the job that he does. I want to start off and just kind of, we'll go through this PowerPoint, go through each one of our players to kind of give you an idea of kind of what we were looking for. And when we started this thing, obviously, some points of emphasis for us, and I'll start on the offensive side of the football. Obviously, we needed to sign some offensive linemen, and in particular, we wanted to make sure we had a couple of guys that could excel at the center position, as well as we like recruiting offensive tackles that can play both guard and tackle. So we signing 4 in this class. We felt like we really met our needs there. Obviously, we want to have three quarterbacks on scholarship, and we wanted to sign a great quarterback in this class, and we're able to do that. And then explosiveness, man. We wanted explosive players, especially at the wide receiver position, and that's something we feel like we met our needs as well. And then one of the things that we want to improve and to get bigger and more explosive, more powerful at the tight end position, and so we signed a great one there. And obviously, we felt like we needed some a little bit of depth. We recruit big running backs, and then we have our inside zone runners, and we felt like we needed to add a guy that could be an every down back, and we were able to do that offensively. So, I think we signed 10 guys offensively, and that was some of our focus and our needs that we had, in particular, I think, Coach Thompson does a great job. I mean, I'm really pleased with what we did with our offensive line recruiting. And then defensively, we really, the biggest need that we had, obviously that most people are going to point out is the secondary, but really it's really our number one need was finding players that can impact the quarterback. And then that way we can, be able to, rush 4 and 5 and have guys that can beat blocks and make plays. And so that was the number one emphasis. And then obviously graduating, 5 guys in the back end, we needed to hire, to recruit and bring on some experience there. And I think we really did some great things there defensively. You look at, what Coach Patterson and his group was able to put together in the back end. With that, I'll take questions. Is that what I'm doing?
Yes, sir. Raise your hand and we'll get a microphone.
Todd, you touched on this in your introduction, but in light of the coaching turnover, you kept all of your commits that you had, but then also maybe missed out on a couple guys late.
Yeah, we had top. This is the third year in a row. I mean, I think ESPN, we've had a top 25 recruiting class in the country, and I'm just being honest. It doesn't help you to lose coaches, even though it's a positive. You can try to. I mean, guy getting a head coaching job, guys getting coordinator jobs. That's great. I mean, you want that for your coaches, but it doesn't help, especially the timing of it. And you can't do much about the timing of it. But with that, I think it speaks volumes about where our program is, the respect our program has, and being able to hang on to these guys. Do I think that could we have? I think it could have very easily had a top 15 class, if you don't have that. But, that's part of it. And, you want that for your coaches. Both our coordinators want to be head football coaches. And, man, I think that's part of my job is to help them. And if you're successful, they're going to get an opportunity. And so, we think that's a positive for our coaches, and we want to help them. But it sure doesn't help recruiting very much. But, I think it's a great testimony of our players, the stability, and the foundation that we've laid here. Because it was a challenge.
What about keeping all the guys that you did have?
That's what I'm saying. I mean that, and the other thing too, I'll be real honest with you, because of our graduation numbers, we didn't have as large of a number to work with. We didn't have a full class to sign. So, we put the class together early. Having 8 early enrollees was, if you're going to have turnover, that's probably a pretty good plan. Which I didn't plan that, but I act like I did. But that was a deal. We put it together early, and we would have liked to have added some guys. And we were battling. We were in quite a few battles around, and but that didn't help any. But I think it also speaks volumes of the character of the young men we're recruiting and how they feel about ASU. Because none of them, they all told us the whole time they never wavered. So that was something that was a big positive for us, is keeping that class together.
Todd, can you, I'm getting a lot of questions here from fans about Sterling Cole. Is he going to be in the mix for your quarterback for this coming season?
Well, obviously, I mean, we've got 3 guys that are going to compete this spring, and he'll be the 4th one added in, and we'll have an opportunity.
Coach, how would you rank this class compared to other classes you've had in your time here?
Oh, I don't know. I think I can tell you that our coaching staff, we feel like we met our needs. We feel like that, But every year, you always think that this is, each one's the best, especially when you meet your needs. I can tell you that we want the best student athletes that best embody our values and what we're about, and guys that we're coming off our 4 best years academically in school history. Obviously we lost 5 games this year. We vowed to quit talking about that, but it's kind of hard for me. But we've had success. We've been to 5 straight bowl games. We've done some pretty positive things, and so on the field, off the field, we've done some good things. And to be able to put back-to-back recruiting classes together that are competitive, and being in the top 25 is being competitive. Obviously, you always want to do better. The key in recruiting is not what your ranking is. The key in recruiting is getting the right guys that fit what you're about. And I love how our players get involved in that, and they get involved in, and they know how important it is to make sure we get the right guys that fit who we are and fit into the brotherhood and the Sun Devil way. So, as a coaching staff, we felt like that this, no doubt, that we met our needs that we had. Would we like to add a few people? You always wish you could add a few people, but at the end of the day, man, you want to end up with the ones you're supposed to have, and we feel really good about this class.
4 years into this local recruiting, Chase, Nikhil, inroads at Chandler, got Marshall. Can you give us a big picture perspective on where you think you're at in that regard?
I think we've shown great progress. I mean, anytime you can land the number 1 player and 2 of the top 3 players, 3 of the top 6, obviously I'd like to land all 6, and we're working our tail off to do that. But I think that obviously where we've come in 4 years, as far as at the end of the day, it involves program. Where is your program? How's your program viewed? What do people? You reap what you sow, and so I think that we're making great progress there.
Anyone else?
Todd, if you could go back on Christian Hill, how raw of a prospect is he? I mean, he seems like he's untapped potential and seeing film. And
Yeah. He's got a lot to learn, but a guy that is one of the strong. He is so physically powerful and strong. He is really strong person, extremely raw, but a guy that has a huge upside. He's going to get better every single day, and obviously he's got some development to do. But man, he's full-grown man, and he's strong. He's powerful.
Todd, can you just talk a little more about what you've done with the changes on your coaching staff now to replace the people who left? And
Well, we've hired Coach Lindsey to be our offensive coordinator, Cody Burns to coach our running backs, and obviously we have a defensive line opening, and we hired T.J. Rushing to coach the defensive backs. And so we lost good people, and I'm very confident that we have hired great people. I mean, I have no doubt in my mind that we've not taken a step back at all. Matter of fact, I feel like we've taken a step forward.
Todd, just in light of both the coaching turnover and all these junior college mid-year additions, what's your sentiment just going into spring football? It's a very different type of a year.
Yeah, well, I'm excited. Anytime you have, we graduate 4 of our 5 up front on the offensive line, but we have a lot of talent. We have a lot of talented young guys, and I'm excited to see them compete. I'm excited to see, 3 really talented quarterbacks competing this spring. I'm excited to see the talent that we have in the defensive backfield come in and compete. It's just part of it. It's part of, you're going to graduate players. You're going to have that. And, I do feel good about what we did in this class as far as meeting our needs and where our talent level is. I think we finished on ESPN like 4th in the league in top 25 in recruiting. And, you got to stay there. You got to keep recruiting up there in that upper echelon to keep the talent level where you want it. So I feel good about that. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited about this spring. I'm excited about our coaching staff, and I know our players are excited to get rolling on March 14th.
how much do you think it helped having Bryce Perkins here for getting the other Chandler kids and just sort of the momentum from one class to the next as far as in-state guys go?
Oh, the key to anything that you do with a team is relationship. So do those relationships help? Well, of course they do. And especially someone like Bryce. Bryce is a tremendous leader, well respected with our players, and a guy that he was another one of those guys. It didn't take him long to figure out he wanted to be at Arizona State. And relationship is the key to everything for us. It's the first thing they hear when they walk in the door. So I think Bryce's relationships, of course, had an impact there.
Todd, if you were to talk about the development of the stadium and dirt being turned and how that helped you in recruiting to give them the vision of the program moving forward.
Well, obviously, I'm ready to get it finished, but it'll help even more. But this is a transformational time in our program. I mean, I sat there the other day, Ray and I looking out the window in his office and going, wow. We're going to play a game there first week in September, which is pretty amazing. But just what's happening right now, when you look at the support that we have in our program right now, you look at where we're at, it's just an unprecedented time. And really, not only that, in a larger scale, just the university and what's happened at this university under Dr. Crow's leadership and what's happening now with Ray and with athletics and in particular with football. It's a game changing for us. This new venue that's going to be out here is going to be a game changer for us. And not only that, we're going to have a new, a student athletic or football complex in the north end zone that is going to be, put us give us an advantage that is very, very valuable and shows commitment, shows where our program. It's a visual. For players to see the commitment that we have here to be the best. And so that's something that's helped. It has helped. It's going to help even more when it's done because it's going to be extremely impressive.
Do you walk players through that?
Well, we can't take them out there in that construction, but we show them the plans, and we're not talking about something that might get done or it's on the planning stages. It's going to be done. I mean, we'll move in, in the next year to our complex, and then we'll obviously have 75% of our stadium will be finished before next fall, and then the entire stadium will be done before 2017, and so. When you just think from programmatically around the country, how many programs, and especially as a coaching staff to be here at this place at this time with the leadership that we have in place and the transformational time that's happening with the facilities and with the program. It's not just about the facilities that are going up. It's also about what we're doing academically, what we're doing as student athletes, what we're doing in developing in this program, what we're doing in all aspects of our programs. And it's a transformational time in our university's history, and it gives us, it's going to be a game changer for us when we bring those facilities on. They're going to help us tremendously.
Coach, did you say that Christian Hill was currently serving right now?
Patrick, how do I word that? Christian Hill. Yeah. He's serving.
Yeah, he's finishing up his duties. Classes still.
Yeah, he's finishing up his duties. Yeah. His military obligation.
He doesn't need to worry about working out here.
Yeah, he works out. I just didn't know how to answer that.
Where was your best meal? Where was your best meal?
Wow. Well, I ate a lot of them. I ate 4 dozen charbroiled oysters at Drago's in New Orleans, which is pretty good. It's kind of hard for me trying to think where my best home cooked.
Todd, so
Let me say, hold on. Let me answer this question. I'm trying to think of where the best meal was. I don't know. That's Cole Cabral's was probably the best. It's pretty good stuff. We had homemade enchiladas were pretty good. I didn't talk a lot, so I ate a whole bunch.
so are you done with these 18 players, or do you think there'll be anybody else? Will there be anyone else down the road?
Oh, we're never finished. I mean, last year we added a couple of guys that were fairly impactful late. Like I say, we're looking for the best and the brightest with the best character that fit our program, and we feel good about this group here, and we feel like we met our needs today. So we'll see what happens moving forward. All right.